Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing the test rides. Let's get straight into it. We're starting with the Inverto Corvette backfin. Um, yeah, this is a muscle car. You can find this at the salvage yard robberies. And let's test drive this thing out. For the first time in forever, I did not crash. Anyway, this car, it takes corners well, it brakes well, it handles well, but I still would not recommend it. So if you're gonna go for this car, just sell it straight away. To be honest, you're not gonna make much from this car, and I actually took a quick look at them before I started, and this one is not really good, in honest opinion, regarding payment wise, regarding the salvage yard robberies. Anyway, would I recommend this car? Probably not. Probably not. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we've got the Greenwood. Let's test drive this thing out. I'm not gonna lie, it could be better on taking corners. And it's not just because I crashed at one time, it's just because I feel like it goes out quite wide. Anyway, the car, it looks good, and I'd say it would perform good, but it just can't go well around corners. Anyway, we should probably move on to the next one. And where you can find this car, you can find it at the salvage yard robberies. And I still would recommend you sell this one straight away anyway, because you're probably not going to get that much out of this car. So let's move on to the next car. Okay, so I'm not going to lie, I don't really like this car. The only reason I don't like this car is because it only seats one person. I'm not gonna lie, something's putting me off with those lights at the front. I know they're probably covered, most likely, but they just look like they're not covered at all. You know? Like if you look at it from an angle, take a look at it from the second. You see that light right there? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's covered, does it? Anyway, let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I lost my focus there for a second. I'm not gonna lie, I fell off the edge, and I'm probably gonna keep that in the video because it'll be funny. Um, but yeah, I lost focus. I fell off the edge, and now we here, I guess. What do I think of the car? Well, I think the car performs well. I think it handles well, and I think it turns well. So, out of all the cars from the salvage yard, I'd say go for this one if you're gonna keep it. But honestly, we're not gonna be able to keep it for a long time, man. I honestly think it's gonna be one of the last features that are gonna be added into the game. So maybe, well, I would probably sell it personally because there's no point keeping a car if we can't buy it. We might as well buy. I might as well just wait for the cars to be available, you know. And I honestly recommend you guys do the same, but that's just my own opinion. But it's not going to be available until the end of it, I think. But who knows? Really? Maybe Rockstar will release it early. Let's move on to the next car. This car, and in case I haven't said it, I do recommend this car. Down points for the fact that it's electric. Anyway, let's just start this thing up. This is the Coil rating. You can find it at Premium Deluxe Motorsport, which is Sibion's place. Let's move on to the test drive. I'm gonna give you more down points. The fact that it's electric and the fact that it's not very good around corners, unfortunately, or maybe that's just me. But I will say this: I don't think all electric cars are bad. Maybe don't buy them in real life, but I think, I mean, electric cars are probably good for the environment. I'm not gonna lie, but that's enough about that. I wanted to actually say why I don't think this car is worth it. I mean, nah, actually, I changed my mind. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this car real quick, and I base cars off of looks alone, and I honestly think I actually kind of like the look of this car. So, I'd say go for it, man. Go for it. Not because of the fact that it's an electric car, but the fact that I think this car might have some decent upgrades. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 50% sure. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We got some pretty good cars this week, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so now we got another electric car. But like I said in the last one, I honestly don't think electric cars are terrible. I don't know why people are so against electric cars. I might even ask my friend there when he comes over next time because he's actually coming over next week. Anyway, The car. Yeah. About the car. The car. It looks good already. So I think we should just skip this and move straight on to the next one. Nah, I'm kidding. Let's move on to the test drive. I think this car can take corners a little too well. I'm not gonna lie. Um, when I first started driving this car, I was thinking this doesn't sound electric to me, but I still don't see any exhaust in the car, so I guess that is still to be determined. But would I recommend it? What was I saying again? I lost track. I'm just gonna say yes, get the car, but I've honestly lost track of what I was saying before. So let's just move on to the next car. All right, out of all the cars we've test driven today, I think this is probably the worst one. This is considered a sports classic car, guys. I don't think it looks like a sports classic car to me. This car kind of looks like a muscle car. Anyway, let's move on to the test drive. This is called the Nebula Turbo. Do I even have to finish this, guys? This car is just not good around corners. You know what? Let's just move on to the next one. Don't go for this in any way, shape, or form. Okay, this is the Valier, and if I didn't set the last car was, it's a Nebula Turbo. But the Vel, let's just test drive this thing out. Okay, so I see more cons with this car than I see positives. So I'll give you one positive and then one con. One positive, it can take corners all right. Okay, I didn't see any problems there with that. Two, bad con, it can't take a beating. Positive con, it doesn't look terrible. Well, this half of it does. That doesn't. And fourth, I probably still wouldn't buy it. Only because I don't think this thing could take a beating very well. But still, I think we should move on to the next one. So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because I don't think this thing can take a beating very well, unfortunately. Come on, look at that. That's just ridiculous. Move on to the next car. Okay, guys, so I just bought one of the test drive. It's called the Vinite. It's a SUV. I will upgrade it and test it. If you've made it this far into the video, comment down below if you guys want me to do a review on it. I'll make a video on it. But yeah, see, look, down there, I got it. So yeah, if you guys want me to, I will test drive it down for you guys and upgrade it and stuff. I only bought it because I've made some money from doing those auto shop. Oh God, what was it called again? Doesn't matter. Okay, guys, so I got this car to obviously I'm gonna test drive this for you guys, but if you made it this far, like I said just 2 seconds ago, if you guys want me to upgrade this thing, let me know down in the comments. I don't really want to do it, so I'll see. We'll test drive it, see if it's as good as it sounds. So. Alright, so I don't mind the handling and the turning and stuff like that. It does do well, but I still didn't want to buy it. The only reason I bought it, like I said, is because I've been making money from the salvage yard. So, yeah. If you guys want me to upgrade it, let me know down in the comments. Let's upgrade. Let's test drive the next car. Okay, so this is the Gran Turismo Amigo. I really hope that's how you pronounce it. But this is one of the newest cars added into GTA Online. And I couldn't test drive this on the track because, well, they never add the newer cars into the track. Honestly, they should do that. They should just update it every update, man. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this is a new car, one of the luxury cars, and we're going to test drive it. So let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so in case I haven't said it, this is my custom one. I own this one, and you can find this at the luxury auto shop if you want to go get it yourself. So, would I recommend this car? Well, it's a good car to look at. I'm not gonna lie about that. But if you care about the corners, I'd say no. But if you don't care about the corners and you're like me and you only like the looks and you focus on the looks, I'd say go for it. It's not a bad looking car. But we got the Infernus, guys. Anyway, let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I know this car can't take a beating. Okay, don't get me wrong. But I still would recommend it. It's an old classic car back when the game first came out. I I still would recommend it to this day. But there is one thing I want to quickly say about any car you can find on the streets of Los Santos. You can find this one on Los Santos streets. But one thing I don't get is why haven't they made it so we could just store these cars in there for free? Because they're not worth anything, literally. Like, they're not worth that much at all. But honestly, I think we should be allowed to get cars like the Banshee, the Infernus, and whatever other car there is out there. I think the Corvette was one of them too at one point. I can't remember. Anyway, let's move on to the next car. Yes, I recommend it, and yes, you can find it at Simeon's place. Let's move on to the next car. So, this is the Lamborghini Marcia GT. This is the prize ride this week, and the racers who take part in the Alice Car Meet Series and finish on the podium for 3 straight days in a row, which I'm assuming it just means in a row, because why would it say straight days, will win the prize ride. But I don't really get how that podium part works. Anyway, let's just test drive this car, eh? Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, every part of me is making me not want to look at this car. Oh, thanks, editor. Well, I guess now we've got the next car on the list. This is test rides this week. We've got the Ocelot Lynx. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I actually don't mind this car. It performs well, it looks well, it handles well. Let's move on to the next one. I honestly recommend it. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we've got the Issy Sport. Let's test drive this thing out. This is another test ride of the Ellis Kami. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, the car actually did pretty well. I honestly would recommend it. Um, for its cosmetics looks alone, yes, I would recommend it. And also maybe for its performance. It actually isn't that bad of a car, but I can't guarantee you're gonna win any races with this, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next car. Okay, this is the Deviant. This is a Alice Kami test ride car. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I think it could be better on turning. The car does perform well though. It looks alright. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of muscle cars, but it doesn't look bad. But I recommend it. Maybe make this your last priority. I don't think it's not that. I don't think it's that important. But let's move on to the last car of the day, which is the podium vehicle, and it's called the Mamba. This is the Mamba. I honestly I don't recommend getting it. It's the podium vehicle, but I don't recommend getting it because honestly, who wants this thing? Let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, it has the speed, but it doesn't have a turning power. And honestly, this car can't take a beating, so I just avoid it. I'd avoid trying to win the podium vehicle. It's not worth it. But that's gonna do it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.